Dr. Homebrew is brought to you by 5 Star Chemicals, providing safety and cleaning supplies for brewing, distilling, and winemaking at 5starchemicals.com.
Doctor, look!
Stand aside, nurse. I'm Dr. Homebrew.
Stand clear.
Welcome back. It's Dr. Homebrew. It's time to drink some beer, or at least talk about some beer.
We can talk about beer. Yes.
It's going to be a good time talking about beer. We got some cool beers for you to try, or for you to listen to us try. We have an IPA, and then we have a fucking monster. We have a...
They could try one if they went to Minnesota, right?
Yeah, this is from our friends at Junkyard Brewing again. They sent over a giant can of 10.5% beer. It's a North Moorhead style quadruple, aged on oak with Brett. So we getting drunk tonight. That's what we're doing. But first, I do want to thank our sponsor, 5 Star Chemicals. You can go to 5starchemicals.com and learn about everything you need, or everything you need to do to be able to properly make some good beers, some drinkable beers, man. You got to clean and then sanitize, and you have to use the 5-star products, man. They're the best in the market. They're the only ones that will let you do it the way it should be done, in 2 steps. That's what we got to do. First
sanitizing, right?
Yes.
And then cleaning.
Yes, that's exactly right. Look, man, it's a pain in the butt, but there's no shortcuts when it comes to sanitization. 5 Star does not take any shortcuts, and neither should you. So check them out, 5starchemicals.com.
And JP's still enunciating his 5-syllable words. Sanitization.
Hey, I'm making it up, man. You got to roll with the punches, you know what I mean? Your mic is broken.
Oh.
Here, what are you doing? You're weird. You had like this whole thing, so there you go. I got the 45. There you go, right there.
Give me the 45.
There we go, baby.
Colt 45.
You're sounding good.
Yep.
Yeah, let's turn
the sheath had come off my mic.
Yeah, it slips down, man. I know, right? When your mic is so thin that the sheath comes off, it slips down. Hate that shit. Man, I want a beer, dude, but I don't know. I've had this stuff. So I came back from Hawaii. Or as the Islanders said, is Hawaii. And I thought maybe they're just fucking with me.
Have some coconut beer.
No, I can't, man, because I got this stomach thing.
Oh, yeah.
And the doctor told me not to drink any alcohol, and I just now stopped, exploding into the toilets and, being doubled over on my couch, with just, stomach cramps, gas. When you get a bunch of gas from some weird bug or whatever, it just hurts, and just in pain all day. It sucks, man. So
when you eat 6 cans of beans.
Right. Yeah, those days when you're the wife's gone for the weekend, I'm going to eat beans and SpaghettiOs all weekend. It's a lot like that, dude, and it kind of sucks. So today was the first day I'm actually feeling good, so I'm not going to chance it with any beer, homebrew or otherwise. But I did think it was interesting. The doctor told me to start taking lactobacillus as a probiotic.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, fucking sour beers, let's go.
Nice.
But no, they're in a pill form. So I wonder if you can brew with it.
That takes all the fun out of it. Let's try.
I have just a bunch. They're expensive for 30 capsules are $25.
It's got to be active lactobacillus.
I'm sure that's what she was like. She was
it's culture.
Yeah. We want to get the good bacteria back into your gut faster.
But I wonder what else is in there. Yes, right? Let's ferment with this.
I think we should do that.
Okay,
let's do that.
I'm on it.
Okay, I'll give you.
Give me one of your pills.
Just one cap. Because it's a little tiny thing, right? It's not like a giant horse pill or nothing.
No, I mean it'll take a while to get going and get happy, but we'll do something with that. We'll make a little growler of JP Medicine Sour Beer.
Oh, God. I wonder what that would taste like. I mean, because it's not... I mean, there's different strains of lacto, right? Or maybe not. Is it? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I wonder why they chose this one.
It's the gut lacto. I don't know. Yeah.
I guess, right? It is called Lacto GG.
Yeah.
So maybe for good gut or whatever.
We could market the beer. Good gut beer.
I fucking love where this is going. Somehow us making money in the end is amazing.
Somebody else is already out there fermenting with it right now.
Yeah, they're like, cease and desist letter typed up as we speak.
This already exists, and you guys suck.
Well, both of those might be true. But anyway, it is Dr. Homebrew. I, of course, am your host, JP, and we have Brian. And sitting in tonight, we have Keith. Keith, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. And yeah, you guys, that has been done before. So,
has it?
You've heard of Good Belly before? That's one thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a lacto drink. That, for the same reasons, probiotic, and I've actually made a Berliner Weiss with it. And I think Brian, you maybe even tried my Berliner Weiss.
See, look at it. He was sitting there letting us play out this whole thing.
See,
and he already knew the fucking answer.
I'm a dreamer, and I just sit here and dream up what I can do. And then Keith apparently just sits in the closet and reads Homebrew for him. I don't know. What the shit.
But he already knew about it.
He knew about it, and
that's
he did
fucked
it.
up.
Okay,
Is it good?
No. Hey, that's cool.
When you brewed with it, was it good?
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
You can even the Good Belly stuff, you don't have to even make a starter. You can buy enough of it where you can just dump it right in. With the pills, you have to make starters and stuff like that, generally, depending on how much you use. But yeah, you do want to watch what kind of lacto you're using for it in general, and make sure you're using the right one and not using something that's going to give you crappy flavor in general. So,
are you familiar with the GG?
I mean, you can go to the Whole Food. No, I'm not familiar with that one, but you can go to a Whole Food store and there's like a whole area of just probiotic.
Oh, I imagine.
Yeah, it's just giant there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like, when you're sick, sure, it could help you, but I don't know. I think from day to day, I think your body's doing all right on its own.
Just drink sour beers.
Just drink sour beers, man.
I do think they're good for the digestion, honestly.
Yeah, unless I have a few friends that it blows them up.
Yeah, I find it to be a good end of session, end of night beer, and you can just your gut gets happy. It starts souring the other beers that you've drank throughout the night in your stomach.
Yeah, that's how it works, I'm sure.
It's a bit rough when you do 50 in one night. I've done that before. 50 beer sour tasting, and by the end of the night, you're...
What are you even tasting? By beer 35, there's no way.
Yep, that's damn sour.
Yeah.
It's wet, and it's probably room temperature now. There's no way. There's no way you can taste it. Were you able to be actively like...
I'd like to think I was, but you're probably right. You do struggle after a certain point in time.
Why would you... Kevin just came in here and lifted the shade.
Everyone wanted to see what was going on?
Yeah. Nobody wants to see what's going on here.
Who are those idiots behind the curtain?
Everybody.
Nobody. I'm going to close that when you leave. All right, do me a favor. Close that. Fucking hate that thing open. And then we have Charlie, right, from Australia. Yeah, pull that thing over.
Make sure it's sheeped.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming in, man. So you just happened to be here, right? You just came in and
exactly
on vacation, but
right. I've done the Disneyland thing with the kids. And it's my turn.
You should.
Took his kids to Disneyland, and this is his Disneyland, being at the Hop Grenade Brewing Network studios.
That's true.
All right.
Rare barrel tomorrow, and then hopefully the 20 day.
Oh, there you go. A 20. No, they shouldn't be too. They have so much space. They have so much space. I'll see if Sully will be around. Yeah. What time are you going to go?
Probably around lunchtime. I tried to go last night on the way to the Giants game, and it was just a tad busy then.
Oh, are you going to go? I'm sorry. Are you going to go to the one in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Okay, because they have that new facility out in San Leandro. Do you have a car, I imagine?
No, not at the moment.
Oh, you're barding.
Yeah.
Can you get to 21A? Yes, you can get to 21A San Leandro from BART. It involves some train switching, but that's a factory, dude. That'll blow your mind.
Yeah,
I
think I possibly could technically do that.
Yeah.
I think politically I could do that.
Yes. Right, I see what you mean. Yeah. They have warring factions within the family tribe.
Yeah.
The brew pub is fun too, and you can get some good grub in there, and on your way to the game.
Yeah, and you can walk to Cellar Maker from there as well. You been to Cellar Maker?
No, not yet.
Check it out.
I'll write down the list.
We'll send you home with a long list, and then
We've been to a few brew pubs because we have to eat, right?
Yes.
So this doesn't count as an actual brewery tour.
No, it doesn't. No, no. This is like a middle management tour. Something like that. So you having a good time though?
Loving it.
Yeah. Have you been to States before?
No, this is my first time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Excellent.
How'd you like Disneyland? Let's talk about the real for a second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Disneyland. I swear to God, if I hear someone singing "It's a Small World After All," I'm going to choke someone in a mouse suit.
You know, I saw some article that says that "It's a Small World" is categorically the worst song ever, or the most overplayed song, I think is what it is. Most overplayed song. I don't know how you can measure that, but Disneyland, sure, it's everywhere, for sure. But you have fun? I mean, did you like it?
Yeah, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah? Are you a big Disney guy, or is that just for the kids?
Yeah, it's probably more for the kids. I'm not a theme park kind of guy anyway.
Okay.
Give me a water slide, I'm happy all day.
All right.
He probably doesn't listen to Disney-related like podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm assuming you didn't download my show, Ears Up Podcast.
I had planned to.
That's what I thought. That is what I thought. I'm stalling because I'm trying to find Dan's number. There it is, right there.
Man.
Well, that's cool, man. And so now you're up here. And when do you go back?
We fly out on Thursday or Wednesday to Hawaii for a few days before.
Oh, there you go.
Heading back. Yeah.
Where are you going to Hawaii?
Just to Honolulu.
Okay.
Just breaking up the trip, and
yeah,
I'm a bit of a fan of Hawaiian t-shirts, so I plan to stock up.
Well, do you have a spot to go?
Not yet. You about to suggest somewhere?
Bailey's. It's like vintage. There's a bunch of vintage shirts there, so you can drop $4,000 on a fucking Hawaiian shirt, literally. But they have a bunch of reprints as well, and they have a bunch of just cool shit. So they have. I love Magnum PI, as everybody should, right?
Got one of those already.
Oh, okay, there you go. I found another one, too, and they were reasonably priced. They're super cheap. And but anyway, so they have a lot of replicas. Apparently what they do is they replicate old vintage shirts and sell them for a lot cheaper. But they just have a lot of weird Hawaiian knickknacks. Like we bought this big tiki mask. Yeah. It's like big solid for $30. Just some old junker or whatever. But anyway, go to Bailey's. Yeah, that's where I recommend. I was just there. Yeah. All right, let's get on with the show here. Who we got? Dan, are you on the line, buddy?
I'm here.
How you doing, man?
Hey,
good.
Dan.
How are you guys?
Perfect. Sorry we took a little bit longer than I had told you earlier, but, hey, you're a vet at this. You're used to it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Dan knows how we operate.
Yeah, very slowly and on weird time. We're on beer judge time. It just kind of happens when it happens.
Yep. Yeah,
I know how that goes.
We started judging the beers. We said, no, JP, we're going to need an extra 35 minutes on this one.
Yeah. And then they just stared at me. It was weird. It was a whole thing. Anyway, so to remind everybody, Dan, you brew at Junkyard Brewing in Minnesota, correct? Is that still correct?
Yes, that's correct.
You're still there. You haven't been fired yet.
I'm still there.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, thank God. So while we should we drink this beer that's open already, guys, or crack the other one?
Yeah, we just cracked
matter,
it.
Right? Yeah, okay.
Let's go for it.
Which one are you guys drinking right now?
This is the free candy.
Well, no. Sorry, I should have specified. I sent you guys a couple different.
No, you didn't.
Logos. I mean the logo. I believe.
Oh, I see.
So you're saying I didn't because
No, you did.
I thought that one was like a black and white logo that had it had some color to it. Well, it was black and white, but then the other one was just black print on the label.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of, kind of, not really. This is a purple label, and one has the van like in white, real big and prominent on the label, and the other one is just kind of off to the side.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, there's a differentiation between the two, and then so basically, the one with the big van and the white in it, is that one was on oak less, and then the other two cans were on oak for another month or so longer.
Okay.
Let's open both cans and taste them all.
We might as well.
We want to drink a bunch of 10.2% beer, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, you do. And JP, this one has Brett in it, so that is a probiotic as well. So go ahead and drink up.
Oh, thank God.
So this is going to be the drunk show then.
Yeah, it will be. We're getting there. So the one with the white writing on the van has Brett.
All of them have Brett.
It's just less on this.
Less on oak.
Trying to make a joke, I guess.
I don't even know anymore. I'm just whatever. Well, tell us about this beer a little bit. What is a North Moorhead
quadruple beer?
Well, it's basically it's a pretty I think it's a pretty standard quad, except that so the reason we called it free candy is because we used a lot of dextrose in it, which is pretty. I mean, Belgian brewers usually use Belgian candy sugar, I guess, or candy syrup. But we used dextrose, and we used a lot of it, so we thought it'd be funny to call it free candy because there's a lot of sugar in it, I guess. But yeah, it's got some Belgian, it's got some Chateau Abbey, it's got some Chateau Special B, some Munich. So I'm glad Doc's not there. And then 30% Munich, 40% two row. 9% Abbey, 5% Special B, and about 12% dextrose. And we were going for just kind of your standard two-style quad, and I hope that it kind of fit there. But I guess we put it on oak, and we used Brettanomyces lambicus, and it was on the oak and the Brett for a good 4 or 5 months, and then the cans that I said were on longer were another month after that, so 6 months.
Okay, just looking at them both, the color is a little different, isn't it? The one that's on oak is a little darker, or maybe I just don't have enough beer in one glass and too much in the other.
It almost looks like the younger one's a little darker, but mine are at different levels, too.
Yeah, that's probably it. Well, Brian, why don't you start us off, and let's just judge the younger one, or the one with the least oak amount of time, right?
Yeah, we start with
and then we'll just compare it with the one that has more oak as just a general passing.
Yeah. Okay. It does have a pleasant, fruity character to it. When you first get into it, there's kind of a fruit punch bowl explosion with kind of cherries and plums, even some kind of tropical flavors, a little guava or
I'm sorry, hang on a second, Dan. What kind of oak is this?
Sorry, it's American oak. So it's basically. Okay. So what we do is we didn't have barrels at any space for barrels or any barrels period at that point. So we still wanted to try experimenting with oak and Brett and stuff. So we got a bunch of wood chips, I think or not wood chips, but wooden cubes, and I think they were from More Beer actually. So
okay,
oak cabinets from Home Depot.
Yep.
Okay.
So we used about I think we used about 6 ounces for a 15-gallon keg, and then we put a stainless steel screen on the bottom of the spear. And toss the oak right into the keg, and the Brett. We dose the Brett right into the keg, and then we let them sit in our back room. That's about a constant 70 degrees all year long. So
which Brett strain was it?
That's how we did it. It was Lambicus.
Lambicus, yeah, that's right.
And I apologize for the different varieties, but as I was looking for beer for the show, I was digging through our cellar a little bit, and I wish I could have found 3 cans of the same, but it ended up this way. And they're from the same batch, though.
I think this is great.
That's fine.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right. Anyway, sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
Yeah, boy, the oak is definitely there. It's got a nice big woodiness to it there. And it does kind of a little rough, like a little American oak, kind of heavy, and it seems like that would probably age out a little bit, but. The Brett character I'm getting is just a light little earthiness. Again, we start with the one that was aged less on the Brett. As I taste the other one, it's still not getting towards any hay or barnyardy flavors or anything like that, but it's getting a little stronger for sure. But it's just kind of barely poking through on the first one. That's amazing, even after 4 months or so. But sometimes you can let that Brett chew away for a year or more if you have the time to, and just let it go. Who knows what's happening inside these cans right now too? If the ones that are kept warm anyway. So yeah, I had had a nice little lightly phenolic character from the Belgian primary fermentation that you conducted there. Pretty clean and soft alcohols. It's pretty alcoholic, but it's smooth. So yeah, no DMS or DASL, anything bad. No hops. And yeah, color-wise, it's this nice reddish, light brown, kind of coppery color with a low light tan head that persists only for a little while. It kind of faded on our glasses here anyway. And mostly it's kind of creamy consistency, finer bubbles, and it fades to a little color. Those around the edge of the glass here. So nice appearance. It'd be nice if the head stuck around a little longer, but maybe I need a bigger glass. I don't know. It's got these raisiny kind of double-like flavors in it with that soft alcohol, and I know it's a 10% beer, but it's got a lot of double-like kind of characters to it. Not doofle, but double. Well, sure. It's doubly, and again that low earthy Brett note creeping in a little more in the aged one, but I might have gone even a little farther with it. It's.
Sure.
What I would have done is probably take it off the oak and then let the Brett go for another 6 months and just let it have fun there. But it's also lightening up the body too a little bit. Clean Belgian ale fermentation is evident here. Kind of soft, rose-like, perfumey. Alcohols coming through there, and some fruity esters, some of that cherry and plum. Some of that's going to be from the malt, but some from the fermentation. But nothing too hot or solventy. It's actually pretty smooth to me. I'm sure there's probably some higher alcohols in there somewhere, but it's pretty well smoothed out.
You said it seems hot to you. That's not.
Well, as I drink more of it, I'm getting. It's going all the way down the back of the throat.
But it's not necessarily
alcohol. But it's not like
a flaw, right? It's not a bad thing. I mean, it's 10%.
Yeah, it's not a burning
right?
or overly hot. You expect it when you drink a quad.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to point that out because
it's a long finish. Yeah,
because a lot of times we mention that, but that's for beers like 6%.
Yeah, if you get this big
7%.
alcoholic finish in your Helles, then you got a problem.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Body wise, it's kind of medium bodied with the medium low carbonation and some obvious smooth warming. At first, after the first few sips, it was kind of just hanging in the back of the mouth, and it's pretty smooth. But as we keep going, again, it goes all the way down in the back of the throat here. Medium. There's a medium kind of tannic presence from all the wood that's in there. That's kind of a leathery feeling on your tongue a little bit. So, if it's being declared as a Belgian Dark Strong and Quad, it's for me. It was a little harder to get at the style. It is reminiscent of the styles, but it seemed to be that the Brett is just starting out here and it's not quite completing. It's not chewing through and everything that needs to do. So I think I would just put some age on this and somehow find a way to increase the malt complexity even a little more. I imagine that the base beer was firmly complex, but that the Brett is starting to take away from that, and as it goes longer, which I also want it to do, it's going to take away from that even further. So let the Brett go longer and start with even more complexity. Maybe even put a little more darker stuff in there. You could darken up the color a tiny bit. But it's a pleasant beer. It was hard to score it.
I think I see what you're saying. I think I get what you're saying because it is kind of. I don't want to say like it's two-dimensional because that's very insulting to the beer, but it's
I think it's a complex beer.
Right? Like it's complex, but it's
something is. But
everything's kind of balanced. Everything's kind of equal in the mouthfeel. Nothing stands out. It's kind of
that middle punch bowl flavors, and not as much that rich tobacco and fig and other.
There's no standout flavors really. There's
the phenolics are subdued and restrained, and the wood is hiding a lot of what's going on in there too. So
you need to over plan for that kind of stuff.
Pull back the wood, push up the malt complexity a little bit, and let it go on the Brett a little longer. But yeah, just have fun with it. It's a fun beer, and it's fun to drink. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's just all of this is just balanced stuff. It's cool. But to score it, we scored it as a wild specialty beer, category 28C, which is kind of wild territory because all that's going on here with the Brett and the oak, and we had to kind of find a place to peg it. So, but I'd scored it like 32. Just it's a work in progress. It needs some more age and some balancing out for me to be jump up to world class. But yeah, it's getting there, and it's cleanly brewed, obviously. So you guys are doing some fun stuff over there.
Well, thanks for the comments.
Yeah, for sure, man. Keith, you ready?
Sure.
All right.
And I'm not sure how much it's going to be a lot different here, but I think it's really opened my eyes a little bit tasting the second beer, and it's pretty amazing how different they taste, although they taste very similar. But let's go back to the first beer again. Like I got notes, I think, as Brian mentioned, I got some tropical notes too. I think for me it reminded me a little bit of pineapple. I got a lot of alcohol though in the first one, and it's amazing how much the second one, even when you're just smelling it, there's so much less alcohol. Like it's just a lot of that's gone away in the beer. Like it
less sharp.
Yeah, the first one really it hits my nose, like it burns my nose a little bit even, and the second one, with the one that's aged longer, doesn't have that same sort of characteristic. First one also reminds me a lot on the nose of a lot of American red wines in terms of oak. It's got some vanilla there, and even not necessarily oak even, but the tannins, and it's interesting. But otherwise, I got some banana, a little bit of clove. But it was really interesting, a really neat beer. But the dark fruit I would be looking for in a Belgian dark strong wasn't quite there, and I think the complexity, back again what Brian was talking about, I think it needs a little more of that. So appearance, nothing, hazy, a little bit hazy, amber, off-white head. It lasted for a while, but now there's a lot of alcohol there too, so I'm not going to knock it too much for that. It seems a little sweet in flavor. Once again, the complexity is not crazy, and you said the malt bill, so it's not like you were just using one or two malts, and but then again, a lot of the Belgian dark strongs have a lot of candy syrup in them, and you said you use dextrose instead, and I think a lot of those candy syrups give a lot of the flavor that you expect in a Belgian dark strong. So I think some of that, adding some of those candy syrups then would give you more of those flavors, some of the molasses and dark fruits and things like that.
Sure.
Once again, get some of the banana flavors. Balance is pretty great for this style. There's not a lot of bitterness, but once again, I can taste the alcohol. It's very warming to me. It's kind of hot. Medium full body carbonation is medium. In the style, I'd like the carbonation to be a little bit higher, but then again, it's in a can, so I'm not going to hold that against you. It's an aged beer in a barrel too, so it's kind of a different sort of beast than a normal Belgian dark strong. I think overall, going back to the malt richness, I would look for a little more of that. The barrel character is really fantastic on this first one. The second one, I think, almost leans a little too much barrel. It reminds me, more of like the bourbon sort of thing, and the first one reminds me more of a wine barrel sort of treatment thing. And I really prefer the wine treatment over the bourbon or whiskey sort of flavors. So I think the first one really hits it for me in terms of the barrel aging. I think it's like perfect there. Overall, I think the Brett character seems really low. Struggling to really find it. Maybe a little leatheriness and maybe a little more in the second one, but it's I'm gonna have to search through to actually even see it. And yeah, the phenols sort of start older beers and beers aged in oak, you're going to not have as many of those phenol flavors that you really want in a Belgian. And but I mean, that's okay. That's a fine. It's just a really hard beer to judge when you throw up like, okay, it's a quad with Brett and oak. There's a lot of things going on there, and I'm like, yeah, so I gave it a 29. I actually enjoy drinking it. It's just, as a Belgian dark strong, maybe you could say it was a Belgian barley wine and Brett and oak aged, or maybe just even oak aged. I would have been like, oh, that's probably a 35. But it's a lot of that is just categorizing it. But I enjoyed it. It's just. I think a couple things could be tweaked to make it more of a Belgian dark strong, or even get more Brett character. It could be more of an age thing, so take it off the oak, as Brian mentioned, but leave it on the Brett.
It's nice that you didn't put like booze and fruit and spices into it on top of all the other stuff.
Right?
Because it's already like a wild animal, and it would be ferocious if you went too many different directions with it. So I like that it's just an straight oak age, no booze, and that's nice. And you really taste the oak firmly, especially in the aged one. Like you said, it is almost like a bourbon treatment or a whiskey kind of treatment. Has some of the aspects of when you take a sip of a good whiskey, you get that oak in the back of your throat, and it's fun.
So when you guys taste Brett when it's young, do you guys notice kind of a lemon limey character that I usually get that from young Brett right when it's starting to pick up.
I'm not getting a lot of like citrusiness, but to me it's coming through as like a light earthiness and like a light leathery in the mouthfeel along with the oak that's doing that too. But it hasn't gotten, there are definitely stages of Brett though.
Absolutely.
I'd have to, taste some more of that to kind of get where you're going with that. But I don't know the lemon limey thing.
Well, and I wonder if it changes. I mean, from what I understand, Brett is kind of, it can change flavors on you from batch to batch. So I wouldn't put it past. I would not put it past Brett to throw off those kind of characters for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to go straight to goat sweat,
Yeah. There's in between. Is that what you're getting off of this, Dan?
Sorry, I'm getting a weird echo in my phone here, so bear with me. But when we first released the beer, it was just the standard Belgian quad without oak or Brett, and from that to this with the Brett, I noticed the lemon limey thing coming on, and that's kind of one thing that I associate with Brettanomyces now that I've tasted that. But just like you said, a lot of times Brett comes through as horse blanket and barnyard hay stuff, leather stuff like that, and I've tasted that in some beers, but
I wonder if maybe as it's just kind of aging out some of the other flavors, that it's also letting certain ones shine through. Like there is a big kind of fruit punch bowl element to it, and some of the lighter fruit might be coming through more than the darker, richer fruit was before. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Brett's just a weird animal.
Yeah,
it sure is.
Yeah, definitely.
But to put the beer into perspective for you guys a little more. The final gravity was like a 1014 or a 1012, and the original gravity it's always been a 1092 around.
Wow!
So it finishes out really dry, and
very dry.
And I suppose that could be part of the reason why you guys are seeing it more of more like a Belgian barley wine.
Yeah, the sweetness is in a barley wine too. You'd expect some more sweetness there too. It's the sweetness being taken away is revealing a lot of other interesting things, and they're expressing themselves differently in the way that it's balanced. You're kind of removing the balance of that Belgian dark strong, and those can get somewhat dry too. Yeah. You want a little impression of sweetness at least.
I mean, alcohol gives you a sweetness too, so that's another thing to consider. It's always sometimes hard to figure that out. It's more the body and the digestible sort of characteristic of the beer, and the carbonation is a little low. It makes it seem a little bit thicker probably than it would. But yeah, alcohol in general is going to make it taste a little bit sweeter.
Absolutely. That makes sense.
Cool, Dan. Well, if that's it, man, we'll let you go.
Yeah, that should be it.
Okay.
Good luck with your stomach thing, JP.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that, and good luck with the brewing. Junkyard Brewing, man. Hey, next time I'm near Moorhead, I will make a detour, my friend. You guys are brewing some good stuff out there.
You do that. I might stop down at HomebrewCon if you guys are there too.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, we should be there. I should be there.
I just realized it was in Minneapolis, so
That's right.
I thought there's no reason we shouldn't go, right?
How far are you away from that?
We're about 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
3 hours north.
All right. It's a journey, but I tell you what, from the beers we've had from you so far, it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm planning to be there too, so hopefully we'll see you there, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Absolutely. Cheers, guys.
Thanks,
all right, Dan. Thanks,
Prost.
dude. Later.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, interesting beers, man.
Yeah,
interesting beers.
It was cool tasting them side by side. I'm glad we opened the second can. For
Yeah,
sure.
I wasn't going to do that at first, and I was like, well, fuck it. Why not? What do I care? You know what else is cool? Have you guys seen what the free Brew Guru app can do for you? This is from the AHA. Built for homebrewers and beer lovers, the Brew Guru delivers sage brewing knowledge and money-saving deals at breweries, beer bars, and homebrew supply shops. The American Homebrewers Association designed this powerful mobile app to help homebrewers and craft beer lovers explore the wide world of beer that we all share. With Brew Guru, you can effortlessly find deals and save. Why is effortlessly such a hard word to say? It takes so much effort to say effortlessly.
And that's only a 4-syllable word.
Right? No.
Effortlessly.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. It can easily find deals and save money on beer, food, and brewing supplies. I'm going to change the copy to easily now. Level up your brew IQ with hand-picked articles, proven recipes, and trusted resources from the American Homebrew Association and Zymergy Magazine. And use the powerful brewery locator to find nearby breweries, tap rooms, beer bars, homebrew supply shops, and brew pubs. Wherever you are, Brew Guru will lead you to good beer. Get the app today, and you can follow the path to beery enlightenment. It's free. iPhone, iPad, Android. Learn more at homebrewersassociation.org. I have the Brew Guru app. It's pretty cool, man. Yeah, you can get like full-on articles from Zymergy on it. It's pretty neat. All right.
Look, the EJ Fair Brewing Company is only 0.01 miles from here.
It's right there, right? It tells you.
And they have happy hour prices anytime and 20% off merchandise.
That's a pretty good deal. See, and you wouldn't have known the finer points of that.
I'm sitting right here with you losers. I'll see you guys in a little. I'll be back in 20.
Can you just Kool-Aid man it through the wall right there, or how would that?
Yeah, that's where the bathroom is.
Hey.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with Matt, who has an IPA. It's Dr. Homebrew. We'll be right back.
Hello, fellow BNers. This is Sully from the 21st Amendment Brewery located in San Francisco, just 2 blocks from Giants Park. Before Nico and I opened the 21A and before I was a professional brewer, I homebrewed on my small 4-burner apartment stove in a back house in Santa Monica, California, making my extract brews before graduating to the daunting idea of all-grain brewing. Homebrew books and information was hard to come by back then. The internet hadn't been invented yet, along with other things we take for granted today, like electricity and potable water. One thing I wish I had back then when I was learning was a radio show that could teach me the ins and outs of brewing and answer questions that I had about homebrewing, a resource for making great craft beer. The 21st Amendment Brewery is excited to be a proud sponsor of Dr. Homebrew, a great show that teaches you what you need to know about making incredible beer. Good stuff. Listen up, you might learn something. I certainly did. And thanks for your support. Tasty Crack Games.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states, plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small, single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy f***ing shit.
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business. Now, back to the examination.
Hey everyone, thanks for sticking with us. I want to tell you guys something about something that is near and dear to our hearts here on Dr. Homebrew. There is a competition for you local folks. It's called Celebration. The Gold Country Brewers Homebrew Club is the entry window for Celebration is closed, but they still need judges and stewards. It's not only AHA and BJCP sanctioned event, but it's the first official competition to be Brewing Network sanctioned, if that means anything to you at all.
Yeah, they've been doing that one for a long while.
Yeah, it's a good comp, man, for sure. So anyway, if you guys are interested, it's October 8th, and it's up in Sacramento. It's going to be at YOLO Brewing Company in Sac. So if you guys want to get your judge on or want to learn how to be a judge or a steward or any sort of thing to help out the competition, you can email. Where'd my email go? See, they took out my friggin' email, dude. Motherfuckers.
Just email JP at thebrewingnetwork.com.
Yeah, please don't do that.
He'll direct you properly. Also, I'd like to bring up this Saturday, for those that are listening live and who live in or near the Bay Area, we've got Oktoberfest in the Diamond coming up, and there's like a homebrewing alley there, so, sponsored by HopTech, and it's a lot of fun. We've been doing this for like 8 years with them now. I guess it's the 9th year of the festival, but there's like a whole homebrew alley. There's like all kinds of pro breweries, and it's this Saturday at basically at the corner of Fruitvale and MacArthur. They close off a bunch of blocks around that. So a bunch of guys from the Mad Zymergists and from the Bay Area Mashers and some other clubs will be there pouring with us. So yeah, come taste some beer with us. And we'll announce the awards for the Oktoberfest Homebrew competition that was just completed. We judged it last weekend at 8 Bridges Brewing in Livermore. So that was fun, our German beers. And actually, that's the one that Keith won last year. So that's why I got to hang out with Keith when he was brewing his Best of Show winning beer at 21st Amendment, which is like our kind of claim to fame with our grand prize, which we humbly accept from 21st Amendment because they're so cool.
Yeah, that was a great time. That was awesome, and I think they did a really great job with that Kolsch last year. It was better than the Kolsch I made, so
it was nice.
That was pretty awesome.
Awesome. Well, anyway, so if you guys want to participate in the Celebration, you're going to have to Google it, unfortunately, because I think when Bev edited this copy, she fucking deleted every piece of information I need. So it's on October 8th, YOLO Brewing Company. Check it out. Hit up Google for the Gold Country Brewers Homebrew Club, and you can find all the information there, I'm sure. But jump in, man. Be a part of the industry. Be a part of the community. We definitely need more judges. We need good judges. We need solid judges. And, of course, after listening to this program, you're pretty much a judge. I mean, we're pretty much going to mail you your BJCP card. So, but no, seriously, check it out. That's really the only way, man, to be a good judge is you got to get practice, and the only way to get practice is to go to the events, man.
Well, a nice way is to start by stewarding, and you can get into a competition and just, you help the judges, you bring them the beers. If you're just curious about judging, just go see the inner workings of a competition, volunteer to steward, low responsibility job, high reward, and you get to, so if the judges are nice, and they have enough beer left to share, they can give you a little splash of it after they're done kind of scoring it and discussing it, and you can kind of sometimes ask questions if there's time or whatever, but it's a lot of fun. You just kind of see what it's about, and then, you'll be judging by the next time you're in there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get Matt on the phone. Matt, are you here, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, how you doing, man?
Doing all right.
All right, so you gave us an IPA.
I did.
And we're gonna judge the shit out of this IPA, that's for sure. You better be sitting down. I don't know.
It's a pretty old IPA.
How old is it?
It's got to be, I think, about 3 months now.
Oh, okay, not too bad. I thought it was gonna be. I thought you were gonna say like 6 months or some shit like that, or like a year.
But it was already struggling with hop. Like I didn't get as much hops out of it as I wanted. So
okay.
Sure. I don't have any bottles left, so I can't really drink that one with you.
Is it 3 months since you sent it to JP, or is it just 3 months since
since I bottled it.
Yeah.
but we've had it for a little bit. So, but it's been in the fridge. Guarantee you, it's been in the fridge. So you're all right. How long have you been homebrewing, man?
Plugged in though. That's the big thing.
What's that?
Was the fridge plugged in?
No.
Yeah.
No, and it's actually out just in a field. It's a hobo fridge.
I like to oven age my beers.
You've been on the show before, right, or no?
Yeah. I sent in another IPA before.
Oh, okay. So we don't care how long you've been homebrewing. Let's just get right to the beer.
I know the caps. He's got the hop with the helmet on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was you.
That's him.
Nice.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
I think the other IPA was better.
Yeah.
You agree, Matt? You agree with that?
Yeah, I did. So the two beers that I sent you guys, they were my pilot batches for the wedding that I just had on Sunday. So originally when I sent those beers in, I was hoping to get them on before I brewed the batch for the actual wedding.
Yeah.
And to kind of get your input on how to fix certain things or whatnot. But
you just had to wing it.
Yeah, the beers didn't quite get to you in time. The batch that I brewed for the actual wedding came out way better than the batch I sent you guys.
Awesome.
Oh, okay, good.
And either way, you can blame JP.
Right. So what
I am anyways.
What is this beer? This is one of the pilot beers. That's what you were just saying.
Yeah, that's one of the pilot beers. It was my IPA, and then I was really disappointed with it. So I was kind of hoping.
Well,
I know there was a few things that I didn't like about it, but I wanted other people to tell me what they didn't like about it, just to see if it was different than what I.
Well, we can definitely do that, but this would be an interesting conversation. Then, what did you change? How do you change it if you have no external feedback, and how did you what adjustment?
Should we wait until after judging, and then I'll get into what I changed and.
I don't know. I don't want to lose the thread. Nah, just go ahead and tell me now.
Okay.
Don't ever tell me how to run my show, Matt. Do you understand me? I'm just kidding.
One of the big things that I changed, I don't know what I was doing before, but I would dry hop a little bit when I still had yeast in suspension.
Okay.
So I was losing a lot of my aromas, I think, and then also I'm trying to remember what else I changed. I also I didn't get enough hops out of the boil, and I just upped the hops all around completely. And then also I dropped yeast out of suspension and then hopped it, and then threw some hops in a mesh bag, then put it in the keg, and then also hopped in the keg, dry hopped in the keg, and then pulled that hop bag out. So I just got a lot better hops, and then I kind of changed the malt bill a tiny bit on that one too.
Just out of did you pull it out of your butt, or did somebody help you with that? You see where I'm going? I want to figure out how you made these adjustments, for people who are looking to do the same thing.
Well, frankly, I'm sure some of your guys' feedback, you didn't get enough bitterness, not enough hops in the aroma or in the flavor. So that was one thing that I upped a bunch. And then also, I wish I had my notes for that one. I want to say that it was lacking body a little bit and just stuff like that. So I think I upped my wheat a tiny bit on that one.
Okay.
And I want to say I mashed a tiny bit higher. Oh, and I changed. I was using. I split my my base malt. I always split my base malt to kind of give it more complexity. And I did Golden Promise and Maris Otter with that one. And then with the next batch, I just used Maris Otter and 2-row. And I felt like it was better, which I usually like Golden Promise, but I don't know if it was the other malts I had in that.
Or the way it was playing off.
Build that I just kind of, and that one I just kind of pulled out my ass more because the homebrew store didn't have Golden Promise. So I just went with it. And then I was like, oh, well, I like this one better. So
okay. I think, a blend of Maris Otter and 2-row American can be fun sometimes, for sure.
Yeah, and some of the best things we learn are by accidents too. Just not having the right ingredients and then finding out that something's better. That happens a lot.
Yeah, I bought a 55-pound bag of floor malted Maris Otter, which I just absolutely loved. It was definitely my favorite base malt because I ended up brewing about 5 beers for the wedding. So
cool. This is like the Glen Eagle,
of,
like the crisp Maris Otter and Glen Eagle stuff.
Yeah, and it was floor malted too.
That floor malted stuff is so delicious. I love it.
Yeah, good stuff. Worth finding.
I was eating it like straight out of the bag.
Yeah, totally. Breakfast.
Put a little yogurt in there, dude. You'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool. I just wanted to get a little peek inside your mind.
And she still married you, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I made it 4 days. So
there you go. It's all uphill from here, dude. I don't know.
And now you're calling us on your honeymoon, and she's mad at you, right?
Right. No. Our honeymoon consisted of going home and taking it.
Please let us go home now. God, tired of this wedding stuff.
All right, Keith, you want to start off?
Yeah, sure. That's starting off medium citrus, a little bit of spiciness, sweet malt, hints of oxidation, papery. Otherwise, very clean in fermentation. Get a little tiny bit of biscuit, some pininess. That's about it. Color, I would say golden, but I mean, brilliantly clear. It's fucking really clear. It's I haven't seen as many IPAs this clear, so I want to talk a little bit about that after we're done with this. But light white head, it sticks around. Not doesn't dissipate quickly. Hop flavor is medium, probably a little low for an IPA. Pine, some medium sweetness, a little bit of toastiness, not a ton. A firm bitterness, I think it's appropriate for the style. Not too much bitterness. For me, I think the bitterness actually I really like where it lands in this beer. I get hints of pineapple. The balance is toward the hops, appropriate. But there is the balancing sweetness. Some people would say in modern American IPAs that's it should be more toward the hops. Just a light amount of alcohol in the flavor. Get a touch of DMS. Just not a lot. Just like a touch of corn. Medium body, medium carbonation. Alcohol warming is just a tiny bit of that as well. No astringency. The flavor overall, I mean, it kind of reminded me of a pineapple upside down cake with maybe a little paper on top of that. It don't really, you think of the consistency when you're eating pineapple upside down cake and then eating paper.
Maybe some of the paper stuck to the cake.
Yeah, something like that. You don't think about consistency, but it is a little papery and oxidized. I was at a show last night and I had your beer 2 days ago as well, and I went to a show and I had a Lagunitas that they don't have shows there every night, and I'm like, this beer is a little bit old, and it reminded me a lot of your beer. And in some ways, you should take that as a compliment. I would think that your beer tastes like an old Lagunitas.
I'll take that.
There's a compliment in there somewhere.
Yeah. So I think the oldness, I think, is not punching up the hops enough. I think the hops seem a bit subdued overall for the style. I was trying to think if that was actually just being a little bit old, or is it that it initially wasn't hoppy enough. Now that you said it was 3 months, I'm really thinking that you really should have dialed up the hops times 2, times 3, times 4. But overall, I thought it was a good beer. It was clean fermentation in my mind. Maybe a little bit vegetal in different areas, and a little bit of the DMS that I was getting. But I like my American IPAs to have a little less of the biscuit flavor. But that's a personal preference. I think you're perfectly in style with that. I gave it a 31. But I could see, like I said, with the in a competition with the lack of the hot punch, I don't really see this winning where it is at this point in time.
All right,
you gave it a 31.
Good comments. Good comments.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brian?
In the aroma, I got so the hops were really interesting. I'd like to talk about what the hop choices were.
Okay.
On the first one here, because it's kind of coming through as they're aged. Okay, it's earthy. It's. But there's slightly dank, and it's a little resinous. And then I'm getting garlic. It's this underlying kind of garlicky flavor and aroma in there.
Interesting.
Yeah. Had the maltiness is low with kind of a bread crusty, toasty character kind of supporting. Maybe a little biscuit, like Keith said. And it might be from the Golden Promise or something. I don't know. But yeah. It's definitely kind of a richer malt flavor. And a lot of these modern IPAs, they just use base malt and sometimes blend it with Pils malt or just all the light malts, and there's no specialty. Maybe sometimes a little bit of Munich if they're feeling really special that day. But, it's the trend is toward always lighter, it seems like. And, this is more like a throwback IPA where they still had a little more color to them and richness in the malt playing off the hops. So it's kind of classic in that sense. Had some moderate fruity esters. I didn't get any DMS. I didn't get really any corn-like in there, but no diacetyl or anything like that, or acetaldehyde.
No, definitely clean.
Yeah, it's pretty clean. Appearance-wise, it's a nice, rich golden color. I liked it. No haze at all. Very clear. In a medium-low, whitish kind of eggshell-colored head. Fine bubbles. And the glass I judged the other night, it persisted pretty well, but not forever. And the hops can kind of kill the head too a little bit sometimes. Well, it'll be fluffier sometimes at first and stay up for a while, and then it'll drop. But flavor wise, at first I thought it was maybe a mustiness, but I am kind of getting that paperiness that Keith's talking about, almost like wet paper a little bit. And a little vegetal note alongside that malt. It tastes pretty stale. The bitterness is kind of rough and coarse a little bit. I just found it to be at a medium level. So the level was good, but the bitterness was just a little bit harsh, kind of biting, but not at too high of a level where that would be a big problem. But yeah, the hops flavors are just kind of subdued. It's earthy, oxidized, and almost a bit cheesy. The balance is it's even, I would say, between the malt and the hops. It's there's enough interesting malt there where it kind of balances out what hops are still there. So it's kind of a weird balance for an IPA. Low fruitiness, no DMS, diacetyl. Mouthfeel wise, it's medium bodied with a low warmth coming through, medium carbonation. It does get a bit of astringency coming off the hops. It seems like it's not very creamy or smooth. It's, again, just a little biting and harsh and almost leathery with that. The hop presence there, all the plant matter in there from the hops. Something's making it a little bit biting and harsh in the throat. But it's actually a pretty good interpretation of the IPA style, more on the classic side of things. And it has some really interesting, unusual hop character. That's the part that's not classic to me. It's the choices of hops are kind of these earthy, piney resinuses. Well, in a way, that's kind of like some of the modern IPAs might have some of that, but they'd be balanced with a big tropical thing or something like that. It doesn't have a lot of fruity hops. In other words, it's just all these vegetable-y ones and tree-like ones, and earth. It's digging under the tree for vegetables kind of flavor. Anyway. Again, not horrible. It's a pretty fine IPA. It's just definitely been aged. I would serve it younger, and be careful about bottling technique. If it's, you can get some. It's really easy to get some air in there when you're doing that, depending how you're bottling, and we can talk about that too. It's not like you said you bottled the whole batch, maybe, but we'll get to that. Maybe you're caking by now. Yeah, it just seems to be suffering from age. Definitely bump up the hops, especially in the aroma, and experiment with different hops. Use the freshest hops you can get your hands on, and try again. It's definitely past its prime. So something with a little more zing, with a little citrus and tropical to balance all those other flavors out will be nice in here. I gave it a 27.5.
Oh, throw it in the 0.5.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
The 28 would have killed him.
I scored the appearance because the appearance was really nice, except the head fell a little flat, and as I gave it a 2.5. Just because I didn't want to give it a 3, I didn't really want to give it a 2. But then I didn't find a half point anywhere else, so that's where it lands.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, Matt, since this was a trial batch, I don't know if you have any questions for the guys.
I have a question for Matt. I mean, how did you get the clarity? Like, it's I brew a lot of IPAs, and mine never get this clear. And I just wanted to know how you got it so clear, and then why is it so clear? Because I mean, there are some complications with getting an IPA so clear that could actually detract from the actual flavor of the beer. So I wanted to know what you did there in terms of clarity.
Gelatin.
That's a one-word answer, and that's perfect. That'll do it every time. Gelatin's a great fining agent. You do have to also bump up your hops a little bit, too, because that's going to pull out even more of the hop character that's there.
Yeah, and like I said, I would have wished I sent you the updated batch, because it was pretty much hitting on everything you guys were saying to fix. I was like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, brew it again and send us some.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Well, but that's also cool. I mean, the things that you already called out were kind of... what we had said too, or what the guys had said. I didn't say shit.
Fingered it out on his own. What were the hops in this beer? What were the hops?
It was Eldorado, Equinox, and Mosaic.
Okay.
And then some Chinook thrown in there too. And so I bittered with Chinook and Warrior. And then so all the flavor and aroma additions were Eldorado, Equinox, and a little Mosaic.
Yeah, I mean, Chinook, I don't really like Chinook as a bittering. I've used it many times in the past. I think maybe that's what Brian's picking up on in some term, in some ways of the sort of the harsh bitterness. I think you were mentioning that, and it's not my favorite hop to use. Sometimes.
So, what's funny? So I sent you guys an IPA the first time, and it was just all tropical fruit. Like, it was a big tropical fruit bomb.
I remember that one. Yeah.
And there wasn't any like piney or earthiness to like balance it.
And if you blend these two,
my Chinook to throw in.
Yeah,
I think Chinook's a great hop. I just think that in terms of a bittering hop, there are better choices.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping I would get like more grapefruit zest and a little earthiness out of it, but it didn't really pan out that way.
Yeah, you can go with just kind of a neutral high alpha hop, like Magnum, and just get your bitterness that you need to get out of it, and then layer it in with all the other good stuff. But I would keep the Mosaic in there and maybe dump the other ones and put in some other.
I'm a big fan of Equinox, but you do get some green pepper flavor from it. But I've used it in some beers. It depends on the blend and what you're using it with. But I am a fan of that hop. But
maybe that's where the little vegetal impression is coming from.
It's possible, yeah.
Okay, Matt. Anything else?
No. I mean that I would have, I think, had a little more questions, but that beer I fixed, and I'm pretty happy with where it.
I'm so glad you mentioned.
So you don't need us, is what you're saying, pretty much.
Yeah.
Thanks anyway, guys.
Okay.
But I figured this out on my own.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
No, I'm just glad that you just wanted feedback on this, because I tasted that IPA. I'm like, this thing is old and stale. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. And so, like, my bottling, that was bottled with just the picnic tap with a little. The bottling wand, in the picnic tap.
Yep.
And so I purged the bottle with CO2, and then I tried purging the headspace with CO2, but that it's usually fine because my bottles never last more than like a week. So I don't ever get any real issues with it. That's why I've never changed my bottling technique, and I didn't really suspect that this IPA would be sitting around this long, or I would have tried doing something different, but
No, I think that's fine. You can, if you're purging, that's a good start there, and you don't need a fancy toy to make it work.
That's true. All right, Matt, we're going to let you go, dude.
Okay.
All right. We'll talk to you later, man.
Thanks, Matt.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
Cool.
Oh, man.
Before we take our second break, I do want to tell you guys about our friends at Craft Brew. They have the Catalyst. It's out of Kickstarter phase.
Yes.
And you have one. You're using one, right?
Yes, I'm brewing in it, man.
You're brewing in it. How do you like it?
I enjoy it a lot. I made a mead, so I made a sicer in it, and it was really nice. Just sanitize it, and for mead makers, it's kind of cool too, because you want a lot of mead makers brew in a crappy bucket, because if you're making melomels, or you want to do your nutrient additions, or if you want to put your wine whip in there to whip out all the oxygen or all the CO2 and get it oxygenated for really like a big sack mead or something, it's hard to get in there in just a regular carboy and do all that stuff you need to do.
Yeah.
And push down the fruit every time, for your melomels. Spice additions, whatever. Mead makers would love this thing a lot, and people who dry hop a lot, instead of having to jam your dry hops down a little, the top of a 6.5 gallon glass carboy, and I've always spilled hops over the edge. Like, crap! I just lost an ounce of hops.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice. So, and you can see everything that's going on. It's got the level markers for you, which is great. And it's really easy to use, and it's easy to put together and nice to deal with. So sturdy, and
cool.
No problems at all. Just smooth sailing, man.
Yeah, guys, check it out. Go to craftbrewed.com. It's the Catalyst, folks. There's a cool drop-down menu, and you can kind of check it out on their website. Over 90% more scratch-resistant than other plastic conicals. By the way, it's a plastic conical, and 71% less oxygen permeable than other plastic conicals. It's low profile, so it'll fit in your fridge. Like Brian was saying, cleaning is a breeze. Working with it is a breeze because the entire lid comes off, and it has a 3-inch butterfly at the bottom. It's pretty awesome, dude. Check it out. craftbrewed.com. The Catalyst.
Yeah, you just screw on. If you want to collect your yeast, you can put any size of ball jar on the bottom that you want. You put on 8 ouncer on there to collect your yeast or whatever, if you want to harvest that or pull it off for whatever reason, and clear your beer or your mead or whatever you want.
Yeah, for sure.
It's cool.
All right, everyone, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back to give some stuff away. It's Dr. Homebrew. Don't move.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star Sand, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today. Grog tags aren't just for labeling your home brews to hand out to your friends. They're the perfect way to round out your personal brewing marketing. Bringing your latest beer to a funeral? Craft a metal sign to go with it. Heading out to little Liam's bar mitzvah? Grog Tag custom bottle caps are awesome. Couldn't get out of jury duty this year? Grog Tag the hell out of the deliberation room with reusable labels. Grog Tag has an awesome array of products just waiting to be customized by you. Metal signs, coasters, tasting mats, bottle caps, tap handles. It's all there waiting for your designs at Grog Tag. Liven up your next party with the widest selection of custom products ever offered by a sponsor of the Brewing Network. Grog Tag. At least your beer will look good. Admit it.
Homebrewing is not always free of frustrations. Years ago, brothers Bill and Jim Mitchell decided to minimize those frustrations and create an entirely new brewing process and a brand new kitchen appliance, the Pico Brew Zymatic. The Zymatic sits on your kitchen counter and connects to the internet via Wi-Fi. It comes with access to a huge recipe library full of award-winning beers and can brew your next batch at the push of a button. Improve repeatability and refine your recipes with the Pico Brew Zymatic. With minimal cleaning and hassle, the Zymatic enables anyone to brew craft beer in the comfort of their own kitchen. Just add your ingredients and the process of homebrewing becomes simplified and automatic, allowing you to focus on what really matters while you brew. At Pico Brew, they believe everyone should be able to enjoy the art of homebrewing and make their own damn good craft beer. See the Zymatic in action today at picobrew.com.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but we're going to have to pour you out.
Back to Dr. Homebrew.
All right, thanks for hanging with us, everyone. Before we get out of here, actually, before we give away prizes, we have a prize to give away. And I won't tell you who won it. Not yet. Not until I tell you about the Beer Bug. We've talked about the Beer Bug before. It's a wireless device that kind of hangs in your carboy and essentially hooks up to the internet, to all the tubes that exist ever on the internet. And via an app, you can read about what exactly your beer is doing. And I think that's pretty cool. You can know exactly when to stop your fermentation, as Brian was saying during the break, so you couldn't hear it. But if you're making a mead or whatever, you need to stop that shit at a certain time.
If you're making a lawnmower mead, especially, I used to make a lot of those lawnmower meads, and sometimes they end at the right sweetness. Other times they just drop out. But you can sulfite them and sorbate them and get them stopped where you want them.
You have to stop them.
Oh, it's at 10:12. I'm gonna stop it right now.
Yeah. Well, and with the Beer Bug, you can know, man. You get real-time data, specific gravity, temperature, alcohol by volume. Goes for Android and Apple. Real-time notifications. You can share all your recipes, all that kind of stuff.
It also tells you how strong your Wi-Fi is.
Oh, it does?
It said my Wi-Fi strength is amazing.
Wow. Gold star and Wi-Fi.
I feel good.
You should feel good. Anyway, check it out, thebeerbug.com. They're nice folks. It's a cool product. I dig it, and I definitely recommend it for people. Man, if you're really into exactly what's going on in your fermentation, you need to know exactly what's happening. There's no better tool than their Beer Bug. Check them out, beerbug.com. Okay, so let's get to the prize. So we have a $40 gift certificate to GrogTag, our good friends at grogtag.com. Let me just initial that thing, so I know I did it already. And it normally goes to the winner or to the person with the lowest score. It's kind of our little joke, thing. But hey, $40 to GrogTag. All the stuff you can buy on GrogTag are $40. You're doing pretty good, man. And so since Dan is a commercial brewer and he's opted out of the prize-winning portions of these shows that he participates in, we're going to give it to Matt.
Default.
So Matt, there you go. Right. You got $40, dude, for grogtag.com.
He can make a sign of his wedding beer to put up in his garage.
There you go.
Forever and eternity.
Yeah, I did that. Well, not that specific thing, but I got a lot of my stuff for my wedding at GrogTag. I got metal signs, and then so you just use them as a menu, like what's on tap.
Well, but he's
so
past the wedding now. So
but I'm just saying, like, now he can do it for like his anniversary or his party and still have a memory.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing, man.
Yeah, they're cool, man.
Yeah, so congratulations, Matt. You did, would Matt have won anyways? I think Matt would have won anyways, right?
Yeah.
Because
we were pretty close.
They were old.
Yeah. Matt won in a lot of ways tonight.
Now, I imagine it was a lot like, I don't know, like when you turn in a term paper or something, you didn't work hard on it, and the teacher's telling you all the things that are wrong, and you're like, I fucking know. I know already. I've already changed it. I already know. I imagine it was like that. But hopefully you got something out of it, too. I think it helps to have people break down your beers. Not break them down, but, deconstruct them. And you think you already know what is wrong, but I think it helps to find out why other people feel the same.
I think he would have been happy whatever the hell he said about his beer. He's just happy that he made it through his wedding.
Right, man. That was...
But yeah, cool guys. Thanks, Dan and Matt, for coming on.
Yeah, for sure. I really appreciate it, man. Those were good beers too. I mean, look, and if you call that an old pale ale, you're right there.
Yeah,
that's like a Sierra Nevada clone. Like a 3-month-old Sierra Nevada clone. That's it.
I would hope not. But.
That's right there, man. For sure. Okay, before we go, speaking of gadgets, I want to tell you guys about the iDip. We got a lot of live reads lately, man. I love it. Smart Brew water testing kit incorporates revolutionary photometer. We all know this already. It's a handheld device. You can use it in your house. You can use it in your commercial brewery as well. It takes great water to make great beer, both home brewing and commercial. So it definitely transcends both of those things. It's the only meter on the market that has water test kits with no math needed on your part. It pairs via Bluetooth and updates your water results instantly. You can test for stuff like total alkalinity, chloride, calcium, hardness, pH, sulfate, and more. Over 40 different water quality tests. It's pretty cool. And you can email the results to the rest of your brewers. You can email them to your homebrew club, post it to your Facebook page, whatever you want to do, man. So check it out. Go to smartbrewkit.com. Use the order code TBN10 at checkout and save $10 on either the standard or advanced Smart Brew testing kit.
That reminds me, I need to test my buddy's water.
Test your buddy's water, dude. Test it.
He got one of those like super crazy filtration systems. So he has a different filtration for his garage, and he's got a softener on his house, and he's got like brewing water for his garage. I'm really jealous.
Jeez,
I need to check it out though.
He needs a friggin' iDip. Then
he does.
Man.
Yes, yeah. I'm telling him to get his own damn iDip.
He should. All right, everybody. It's been Dr. Homebrew. We'll be, we'll be hanging out here for a little bit. We're going to do another show if you're listening live, for you one person who's listening live. Otherwise, wait for the next show to drop. Anyway, take care, everybody.